All right, well today I do not have like something super crazy or hard planned, okay? Instead, I would like us to do a little bit of focusing when we're practicing yoga on, really I'm just gonna ask for two things, and I'll kind of cue this, not every time, because as we get going I'm gonna expect you to think about it, but I'm going to cue this fairly often. And the first thing is, what are we doing with our hands? And the second thing, I mean, you knew I was probably gonna head here, right, is what are we doing with our bellies, right? What are we doing to get stability there? So hands, sometimes I see, right, like a little bit like, yes, I'm in the pose with some dead energy here, or even here, but I want you to think about today, if your hands are not together, then it's like you're shooting rays of energy out your fingertips. So if they are just engaged, whoosh, right? Now I like to spread my hands, but you can keep them closed. It doesn't matter which one you like to do, but that should be happening like, whoosh, like you are gonna shoot some rays out. Maybe it's positive rays, maybe it's negative. I'm not gonna judge you on that, but they're shooting. They're shooting, right? They're shooting. Now sometimes I have a tendency to do this. I don't know why. That pinky like, so sometimes I have to tell myself, yeah, shoot that one as well. But whichever way we're going, we're shooting rays of energy. And then if our hands are together, we're gonna think about, they're not just hanging out here together, they're pressing together. So I have a sweatshirt on, you can't really see that activation that goes on, but when you have your hands together versus pressing together, you get a lot of activation through the shoulders, the arms. Same things if you find some pressing here. Like a lot of times I think we come up, we just touch our hands, it's so lovely, and then we come on down. Okay, but today we are going to come up here and find a little press. Ooh, I mean, that's a big shoulder opener. So if that's not happening for you directly overhead, allow yourself to come a little bit in front of your head so that you can find a little bit of that pressure. Because some of us are not going to be able to press together directly overhead. In fact, I'm not sure I'll be doing that every time, right? I mean, do you hear how that already kind of makes me work? I'm already short of breath, don't worry. So we're gonna press, or we're gonna shoot energy. And then another thing we're gonna think about, because we're gonna find that first, right? We're gonna be like, here I am, energy, and then energy, right? We're thinking up and in, we're thinking navel towards spine, we're thinking lower ribs sort of tucked down. It's how we're gonna sneak in lots and lots of extra core and engagement in all of these extra postures. And for sure you've heard me say that many, many times before. And I'll remind you, because it kind of, to me, feels different in just about all of the postures that we get into, right? It can feel easy in some, harder in some to find that, but we'll remind ourselves that no matter where we're sinking into, we're also doing this part. It might not look like much, right? It might be only something you can see, or you can feel, I should say, but we're gonna be pulling up and in and shooting our energy. So let's get started, and we're all seated, so let's get started seated. We'll won't shake the boat on that. Okay, already we're gonna start hands on the knees. We can find a comfortable seated posture, and go ahead and press your palms into your knees a little bit. We'll get that little bit of activation, which will help you find a nice tall spine. And then pull your belly up and in. Play around with pulling the pelvic floor up and in. And sometimes I think as we pull the belly up and in, we forget about knitting those lower ribs in, so think about that as well. And let's take a deep full inhale together. And then as you exhale, sigh it out. Let's take another one of those. Deep inhale together. Exhale to sigh it out. Keep that light belly engagement as you inhale. Reach the palms up overhead. Go ahead and press them slightly together. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Keep that press as you bring those hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. A little bit of press overhead. Press as you bring the hands to heart center. Two more. Inhale up. Press and exhale down. Inhale. Press and exhale down. Come over your knees so that you're in tabletop. Find finding some cat-cow movement, pressing the hands into the ground as you inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, gaze up, exhale and round the spine. Inhale to open, exhale to round. Continue inhaling as you find that back bend, exhaling as you round the spine, press your shins or your feet into the ground. Inhale, open, exhale, round. Continue on your own breath at your own pace, and perhaps adding in some other movements that you might like, some C curves to the side or swiveling around. I like to think of it as a swivel. I don't really know if it looks like a swivel. And then as you're ready, we're going to come right to downward facing dog. So curl the toes, bring the hips nice and high, and sink into your downward facing dog. Allowing yourself to pedal. You guys stay there. I'm just coming up to see you. Pedal out the feet as needed. Bending the knees as you like. And then beginning to come to stillness. I'm just back here so I can see you stand up. So let's think about shifting gaze back towards the knee. Yes, perfect. Every time you come down dog, you can back your shoulder with that nice deep V. Very nice. Perfect. On an inhale, let's travel to the top of the mat. Feet between hands and come halfway up. Lengthen the spine, pull the shoulder blades together, pull the belly up and in. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen partway up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, partway up. Exhale to fold, bend the knees generously, round it up one vertebra at a time. Come to standing at the top of the mat. We're reaching the arms up overhead, so we'll find a little press. Keep that press as you bring hands to heart center. Take a nice deep inhale and sigh it out as you exhale. Pull the belly up and in. Inhale and exhale. 3 Sanés, thinking about energy through the hands, pressing, and what that belly is doing, right? Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, find that little tiny bit of press, maybe gaze shifting up. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, pull the shoulder blades together. On your exhale, palm the mat, step back to the top of your push-up. On the toes or on the knees, lower all the way or part way if you're ready for chaturanga. Inhaling as you open up into your cobra or upside. Exhale, take yourself to downward facing dog. Remember to shorten that distance between your feet and your hands so you can get that nice V, shifting the gaze back between your legs, maybe to your navel. Maybe you watch that navel pull up and in. That's what we're thinking about here. Navel pulling up and in. Take one more breath in this down dog. And on your next inhale, travel to the top of the mat. Feet between hands, come halfway up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to rise, reach up overhead, press those palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center, keep the press. Belly in, inhale, sweep the arms up. Press, exhale, fold forward, press as you fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Palm the mat, step back to the top of your push-up. On your toes or on your knees, lower all the way or part way to your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, or cobra. Very nice. Exhale to downward facing dog. Adjust our feet every time in down dog as needed, and then find that belly engagement. Think about pulling that belly up and in. Like you're going to tuck it in underneath those ribs. 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, travel to the top of the mat. Walk, step, or float, and then come halfway up once you get there. Shoulder blades together. Exhale and fold. Inhale to rise. Palms pressed together as you shift the gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Keep that press. Belly in as you sweep the arms up overhead. Press. Fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Palm the mat for the vinyasa of your choice, stepping or floating back, lowering all the way or part way, knees or toes. Inhaling to open the chest, gaze might shift up. Exhale, down dog. Deepen and lengthen your breath. Pull the belly up and in. Maybe you can get a little pelvic floor pulling up and in. And on your next inhale, travel to the top of the mat. And then halfway up. Exhale to fold. Inhale as you rise, reach those arms up overhead, find that press. Exhale, hands to heart center, keep the press. Reach the right leg up, find your staff balance, standing here, pressing actively, hands together. Flex your foot so that your toes are towards your shin, belly pulled up and in. Right? Why can't this feel easier? That's about 5 breaths. We'll put the foot back down, reach the arms up overhead, kind of resetting the hands, pressing palms together, and then hands to heart center, press, and reach the left foot up. Left leg up, flexing the foot, pulling the belly in strongly. Finding our drishti, our gaze, something that's hopefully not moving, hopefully not me as I wobble around. And set ourselves up for vinyasa. Foot comes down, reach the arms up overhead, find that press as you fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Palm the mat, take your vinyasa, so that's stepping or floating back, lowering all the way or part way. Up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. From down dog, let's bring the right leg up into the air, 3-legged dog. Just feel that out, opening up that left hamstring. And then bend and stack, open up to the side. We're working to stack the right hip on top of the left, bending the top knee, heel towards bum. As you exhale, hug your knee in towards your chest, bringing your foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one. Time for energy out those fingertips as you sink down into your front leg. Reach towards the sky. Yes, I saw that. Square your chest and your ribs towards the top of your mat. And now pull that belly up and in. It's like the refinement. Yes. And you still have to breathe because it's yoga. On an exhale, let's open up warrior two. So you might need to wiggle those feet out a little bit. Energy right out those fingertips. Sink down into your front knee, tracking toward the pinky toe side. Now that you're here, pull the belly up and in. That makes you nice, tall spine. On an exhale, let's windmill the hands down either side of your front foot. Drop that back knee down to the ground. Let's give Elizabeth that hip flexor stretch she wants. Left side stretching, right? So maybe you're going to keep your hands on the ground or walk your hands up onto your right thigh. Pull the belly in so you really get a nice big stretch to that left hip flexor. If like mine, it wants to cheat out to the side to ease, maybe you point that hip flexor more strongly towards the top of the mat. Take another breath. Release the left hand down to the ground. Twist open to the right. Energy out that top hand. Energy right out there. You're reaching and shooting toward the sky. Pull the belly in. Release your hand down to the ground. Step back to the top of your push-up, or you could step back to hands and knees and then lower. Inhaling into your up dog or cobra. Back to down dog for the other side. I'm gonna turn around so I'm facing you all. On an inhale, left leg comes up into the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend and stack, open up to the side. Stacking the left hip on top of the right. Bending the left heel towards the bum. As you exhale, hug that thigh close to your ribs. Traveling the left foot to the top of the mat, back heel down. Warrior one. You know I want to see energy out those fingers. Square your ribs and your shoulders to the top of the mat. Pull the belly up and in. Take a couple breaths, shoulders away from the ears. On another exhale, open up warrior two, energy right out those fingers. Front knee tracks toward the pinky toe side, pull the belly up and in, tall, tall spine. Oh, there's that sunshine. I didn't think we were gonna have that today. Windmill the hands down either side of your front foot, bring that right knee with you so that we're in that grounded low lunge. You can keep your fingertips on the ground if that's what you need, or bring your hands up onto your thigh, opening up that right hip flexor. Pull the belly in. Find your breath. And then release hands to the ground. Step back to the top of your push-up or onto your hands and knees, taking your vinyasa, lowering as you exhale, opening as you inhale, and then meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend and stack, open up to the side. We're traveling to warrior one, but let's touch that right knee to the right elbow on the way there. And then plant your foot down, back heel down, energy through your fingers as you reach up, warrior one. Open up, warrior two. Energy through those fingers, belly up and in. Flip the front palm, peaceful warrior. Reach those fingers high, energy right out those front fingers, and maybe that back hand sliding down the back leg. Extended side angle. So let's all of us place our forearm on the thigh and shoot energy out that hand. And then reach the other arm, that's the left arm, up and overhead, energy out that hand as well. Yes. Front knee tracking toward the pinky toe side, and you know I'm about to say, belly up and in. From here, grounded low lunge, so take that left hand down to the ground. Oh, I didn't twist the last side, did I? Left knee down to the ground. Hands can either remain on your thigh as you come up, or reach the arms up overhead for an additional stretch and energy right out those fingers. So we can think about sinking into this hip more, or we can think about pulling the belly up and in. Either way, finding that big stretch in the hip flexor, sort of deciding what we need. Left hand down to the ground, let's twist open to the right. I'll pick that back up on the other side. Energy out those top fingers, pull the belly in here even during this twist. And then release your hand to the ground, taking your vinyasa of choice. You can always skip that vinyasa lowering and take a few rounds of cat-cow here. Eventually, we'll meet up in downward facing dog. For the left side, inhale the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend and stack, open up to the side. Hold that for a moment. Maybe that left knee will touch the left arm as you bring your foot to the top of the mat for warrior one. Inhale your way up, energy out those fingers, belly in, squared shoulders. Exhale and open up warrior two. Energy out the fingers, belly in. Keep that, flip the front palm, peaceful warrior. So reaching those fingers down the back leg and overhead. Extended side angle, we're gonna come to the forearm again on this side. Left hand, energy out that hand, other arm reaches overhead, energy out, and pull the belly in. Release that top hand down to the ground. We're coming into that grounded lunge, drop the back knee. Right hand down to the ground, twist open to the left. We're just getting that first twist in that I forgot last time. On an inhale, hands can come to the thigh or reach up overhead. Right? That's all I have to say. No matter where those hands are, energy. Pull the belly in. Even if you sink low, pull the belly in. Release the right hand back to the ground and twist open to the left again. Pull the belly in, energy out the top fingers. Vinyasa from here, hand to the ground. Take your vinyasa as you choose. Always an option to skip a vinyasa, hold a plank, add push-ups, whatever your pleasure, right? From down dog, let's travel to the top of the mat. And halfway up. On an exhale, fold again. Inhale, rise, press those palms together as they reach overhead. And then hands to heart center. Tree pose, so spread the left toes wide. Right foot can come to the ground here, or to the calf, or past the knee if you're coming to the thigh. So we'll start, if we can, with hands at heart center, finding that press, ooh, and that belly engagement. Maybe your tree is toppling a little bit like mine, that's okay. Maybe you can keep that press in your hands, keep that belly engagement as you reach the palms up overhead. And then back down to heart center, nice job. Release, and we'll find that on the other side, spreading the right toes wide and finding the foot placement of your choice. When you find it, when you're ready, hands to heart center, pressing in, belly in. We'll work to keep that engagement, that press and that belly in as we reach the arms up overhead. And then back to heart center. Pause. And release to Tadasana. Hands at your side. Maybe your big toes are together, heels slightly apart, belly pulled in. Let's take a nice deep breath together. And then sigh it out as you exhale. Inhale, Utkatasana or chair pose. Sink the hips, reach the arms up overhead. Energy out those fingertips, pull the belly in so we get a little rounding in the low back. On an exhale, hands to heart center, still in that chair pose, press. Twist to the right. Sink even further and bring your elbow to the outside. Check the knee alignment, that they haven't come out of alignment, that they're together. As you use those hands, really pressing to help your twist, but also pull the belly in to help your twist. Take another breath. As you inhale, come back to center. Don't forget those hands pressing together. And then find your twist the other direction. Reassess your knees on this side as well. They really like to come out of alignment, and you're the boss. Pull the belly in. Use the press of your hands to rotate. Take another breath. Inhale, back to center. And then fold forward, straightening the legs a little or a lot. Inhale, halfway up. Palm the mat, take the vinyasa of your choice, and meet in downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. On your exhale, bend and stack, open to the side. Stay right there, or take a flip dog or wild thing, bringing your left toe, those are the right toes, down to the ground, maybe opening up the hips. What's that right hand doing in your wild thing? Reach energy through those fingers. And then unwind back to your three-legged down dog. Knee to nose on the way to bringing your foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one. Energy here, energy here. Open up warrior two. Same place for that energy. Peaceful warrior. Extended side angle. So maybe you're going to keep that forearm here with energy, or maybe you're going to reach past your leg. That's up to you. But find energy through the reach of your fingers either way. Belly in. Nice. On an inhale, let's come back up to our warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Reach out over that front leg as you find your triangle. Hand to the shin, or foot or floor, whatever is working for you. Other arm, fingers shooting toward the sky. Very nice. Belly in. You knew that was coming, right? Left hand is coming down to the ground. Bend that front knee. We're going to come into our grounded lunge. Reach the arms up overhead or hands on the thighs. Keep those arms overhead or cactus and open into a bigger back bend. So stopping or staying maybe is a better way. Whatever's right for your practice today. Inhale, reach the arms overhead if you've been in cactus. Thank you for that energy. Left hand down and spin open to the right. Maybe you'll reach back towards those left toes and then curl those feet in. Find your foot perhaps and pull the heel in towards your bum. Pull your belly in. We'll release in vinyasa from here, hands to the ground, taking the vinyasa of your choice to down dog. Other side, left leg comes up, three-legged, bend and stack to the side. Stay there, take a flip dog or wild thing, remembering where that energy should go out those fingers. Back to three-legged as you are ready. Tuck the knee in towards the nose as you bring your foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one, that's where we're meeting. Find your engagement and your energy. Warrior two, same thing. Peaceful warrior. Extended side angle. Whatever version you're taking, pull the belly in. Make sure that front knee is tracking toward the pinky toe side. On your inhale, back up to your warrior two. Straighten the front legs. And then reach out for your triangle. Shoot energy out those top fingers. Pull the belly in as you find your rotation open in triangle. Nice. Release that top hand down to the ground. Bend that top knee or that front knee and reach up into your grounded lunge. So hands thigh or here, or maybe you're going to cactus into a bit of a back bend in this lunge. If you're back bending and cactus, reach the arms up overhead, plant the right hand down on the ground, spin open to the left, reach through those top fingers, and then reach those fingers toward the feet. Find that reach first, bend that straight leg, and maybe find your toes as you sink into this stretch. Release, take yourself through a vinyasa or anything else you might like here, such as a child's pose, before we meet in downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale and sigh it out when you exhale. Three-legged dog, right leg reaches up. Exhale, bend and stack. Flip dog if you would like to. Or maybe you're gonna stay with me. I'm gonna straighten that top leg. I'm still staying stacked, opening that right side. Bring your foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Find it, find the energy and the engagement. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Extended side angle. We'll stay here for a moment longer so you can sink into this one. Pull the belly in. Inhale back to your warrior two. Nice bind there. Straighten out the front leg. Triangle posture. Find that deep core engagement even as you twist those left ribs open to the sky. Listen up. This time we're headed to a wide leg fold so that top hand can come down to the ground, and we'll walk our hands around to the side of the mat. Let's check out our feet. Make sure those outside edges are parallel-ish or turned in a little bit. Lengthen part way up, and then exhale as you fold forward into your wide leg fold. A little micro bend in those knees if they're kind of wanting to hyperextend. Okay, so sometimes this feels like this is where we're at, right? But I want you all to take that belly, pull it up and in, find that core engagement, which gives you a bit more opening, even if you can't see it. We'll come halfway up, lengthen the spine, walk your hands to the top of the mat, drop that back knee, inhale as you come up into your grounded lunge, adding a back bend here if you would like, with the cactus arms, with no cactus arms, maybe you would like to press the palms together overhead, pull the belly in, and then release the left hand, find your twist. You can twist open or you can twist back and find that tail. One not better than the other, right? Just different. Release, find a vinyasa, and meet in down dog. Moving a little faster again like that on this side. Left leg comes up as you inhale, bend and stack. Flip there, or maybe you're going to straighten out that top leg, finding a stretch. Nice job, everyone. And then come out with control eventually to the top of the mat, warrior one. Warrior two, you know what to engage, you know where to shoot your energy. Peaceful warrior. Extended side angle, let's give ourselves a moment here. People binding or taking that stretch a little further. Find your engagement. Inhale back to your warrior two. Straighten the front leg, triangle. Wide leg fold from here. Top hand is coming down to the ground. Turn that front foot parallel, hands to the side of the mat, lengthen the spine, and then fold in. Hand placement of your choice, so maybe you like a bind or no bind or reaching, but don't hyperextend or lock the knees. Create a tiny bit of softness there. Pull the belly up and in, out of your way. And then, of course, find your breath while you're here, right? How hard is that? You're just upside down trying to engage everything you've got. Inhale to come part way up, walk to the top of the mat and into your low lunge stretch, taking that into a back bend or no back bend. Some of you back bended, some of us pressed the palms together overhead. All of us are working to breathe and engage the belly. Right into your twist, whether that's open or whether you find a bind with the back foot. Options for you. Vinyasa to down dog from here, and then we're traveling to the top of the mat. I know that some of you would like to play around with jumping on your travel, so take your time and jump or step or whatever you're doing. We'll meet in Tadasana when you're ready. Standing up, maybe pressing the palms together first, and then hands to heart center. We're going to keep that press so we find that engagement, pull the belly up and in. Warrior three, let's keep hands at heart center so we can keep that engagement here at the hands, belly pulled in. I'm going to raise my right leg first, so open up my left toes and really ground them. And then maybe I like to step that foot back so I don't have to start all the way from standing as I start to tip forward. Thinking about reaching through those back toes, still pressing the palms together, a little uplift in my chest. And where is parallel to the ground? I don't know. I'm just going to think about seeing if I can feel what that might be like. Take another 2 breaths. And then come back up to center. release our hands to the side and give it a wiggle, right? So I don't know about you, but if I'm focusing on my balance in Warrior 3, it's hard for me to focus on also pressing hands together. It's like a mind trick, back and forth for me. Oh, which one is gonna win? I don't know. All right, let's start hands at heart center. Again, ground through the right foot. I'm just gonna toe back here on the left so I can start from here as I begin to fold forward and into that Warrior 3. Pressing into my palms, thinking about my hips, pressing into my palms, lengthening the spine. And then inhale as you make your way up, and let's release and wiggle that out again. Top of the mat for Tadasana. I know I'm the one moving on. Take a nice deep inhale with me and sigh it out. On your inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Find that energy out the fingers. Sink your hips, chair pose. So if the toes are together, the knees are together. If the toes are apart, the knees can be apart. Keep that energy through the fingers as you sweep your hands behind you like you're skiing. This is a really good time to check in with your belly, pulling it up and away from your thighs, or at least finding that energetic intention, right? Pulling up and away. Inhale, arms come back up overhead. Belly still in. Exhale, sweep back behind you. Last time, pull the belly up and in, reach through those fingers, and then plant your hands on the ground and fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Take the vinyasa of your choice to downward facing dog. From down dog, reach the right leg high, but this time square the hips. So think about that right hip being level with the left. Pull the belly up and in. As you exhale, knee to opposite elbow towards the left elbow, crossing the body, finding that twist. And then inhale, lengthen it back out, three-legged. Step to the top of the mat, high lunge. So the back heel is gonna stay up as you reach your arms up overhead. It's a whole new balance. Oh, I know. I got you so used to this one. Now I'm asking you to spin your heel up. Find your balance, square your hips. Energy here, energy here. We're gonna thunderbolt forward, reaching energy out those fingers, and then sweep them behind like we did in that chair, like you're reaching towards your heels. Pull the belly away from that front thigh. Inhale, come back up. And then we're gonna step that left foot in part way for pyramid. So it's part way up the mat, both hands or both feet pointed fairly forward. Yeah. Oh, y'all kept that energy. Thank you very much. And then hands to heart center. Take a nice inhale here. Keep the hands in front of your chest, heart center as you fold forward towards a flat spine. A little micro bend in that front leg, and then maybe folding even further, like your pinkies are going to touch your knee. I lost that energy. I'm going to press my palms together again. Inhale as you come up, reach the arms up overhead. And now reverse prayer behind your back if you have it. I'm going to turn around for some of my new ladies here. Okay, so reverse prayer is hands together. And since we're working on this kind of thing, we're going to press the palms together more actively than you sometimes do. That's not accessible to everyone. We might press the fists together. Thank you for that word, yes. And then lengthen the spine, and we'll fold forward again with our hands here. Soften that front knee as you need to. Eventually we'll work forehead or chin to shin, but we're not worrying about that. Press into either your fist or your palms. Nice. Inhale as you come up. Unwind, reach the arms up overhead. Hands to heart center, warrior three again, right leg. forward, reaching into those hands or pressing into the palms, and maybe releasing the hands so that we're kind of find that airplane, reaching the fingertips toward those back toes. When you come to standing at the top of the mat, maybe your left foot does not come down as you give it a hug. Now we really wore out that right hip, yes? We'll release to Tadasana, sweep the arms up overhead, palms pressed together, and keep them pressed together as you fold forward. Half lift. Take the vinyasa of your choice to down dog. Left leg up in our three-legged down dog where we're squaring the hips. So we're not opening. I saw that, Elizabeth. Good job. Squaring the hip. That left hip likely has to come down some. Ooh. And then hug your knee in towards the opposite arm. We're trying to cross the body. Inhale, lengthen back out, three-legged. Step to the top of the mat, high lunge. So the back heel is going to stay off the ground again. I switched it up on you guys on purpose, that way you could get your balance on it. We'll reach forward, thunderbolting, reaching with the energy of our fingers, and then sweep those fingers back. Airplane arms. Pull that belly away from the front thigh. Inhale, come upright again, reach the arms up overhead. Oh no, I forgot what we did last time. Did we separate? Oh, pyramid. I didn't totally forget. Okay, step that back foot part way forward. I've still got energy out those fingers. And then hands to heart center. Lengthen the spine, press the palms together. Fold forward. Find your belly pulled up and in. Press into your front big toe to help you keep a little bend in that front knee. Inhale as you come up. Maybe you're going to reach those arms up overhead again, finding that energy. And then hands behind your back, whether you're pushing fists together or reverse prayer, hands together, but press those palms or fists together. And then on an exhale, fold forward again. Because it changes things, doesn't it? Breathe. Inhale as you come up, unwind those hands, reach the arms up overhead, and then press hands to heart center as you come into your warrior three on the left. Play around with pressing palms together first, finding that warrior three, and then maybe reaching the hands back through those fingertips towards the toes, airplane arms. On your inhale, come back to standing, reach the arms up overhead, Tadasana feet. Exhale, hands to your side in Tadasana. On this inhale, arms come up overhead. Hands to heart center, find your press. Oh, I know we forgot to put that knee, but that's good. We'll bring the left leg up. Only briefly, we're stepping back this time into our high lunge. Right foot will be forward, left leg back. How softly can we land that high lunge? I know. See, I brought you to it from a different way. Reach those arms up. Coming into a bit of a back bend here. That might only be pressing hands together. It might be cactusing. It might be reaching overhead. Maybe you drop the head, maybe you don't. Back up to standing, hands reaching overhead, knee with you, and then hands to heart center. Belly in, release. We're going to go right to the other side, arms up overhead. Right knee up. Hands to heart center. Reach back, find your high lunge. Reach overhead, pull the belly in, find your back bend in this high lunge, okay? So not every back bend has to be super big, super deep. Coming back to standing, hands to heart center, bring that right leg with you. And then release to Tadasana. Malasana squat, heel toe, your feet apart. Release the hips down to the ground. So you might be here in sumo. I don't know how low your hips go. We're headed towards the hips down to the ground. Toes turned out. My feet almost off the mat to find that deep squat. Hands at heart center. Are they giving you a press? And then have a seat on your bum. Reach back with your hands if you need to soften as you sit down. All right, y'all know me well enough to know we're headed into Navasana. Let's take hands at heart center. So our elbows are out to the side. Maybe we bend the knees for sure so that we really can focus on hands pressing together, belly pulling up and in. Yeah, nice job. Find your breath. Release and cross the legs. Reach the arms up overhead. Energy out those fingers. Hands back to heart center. Navasana again. Press, press. Press the knees, press the ankles, press the palms. I feel like some people might not have liked that. Maybe you cross opposite legs as you bring your legs down. Reach the arms up overhead. And then hands to heart center. Find that nice tall upright spine, belly pulled up and in. Pressing into our palms lightly. Pigeon from here, so I have to turn because I turned on the mat, but maybe your right leg will stay forward and sweep the back leg behind you. So make the adjustments you need. I'm going to scoot towards the back of my mat because I know I'm going to fold forward. When you're ready, you can either stay on your palms or come down onto the forearms, or maybe all the way down onto your chest. Big stretch in the right hip, yeah? I know you've all been here. Some of you are really relaxing here. Some of you are fighting it, right? But either way, let's kind of engage into the belly again. Pull it up and in. Making that relaxed pose a little bit more active. But for some of us who might be fighting it, maybe giving us a little bit of the support we need. Can stay reclined for another 5 breaths or begin to come upright and stay in an upright pigeon for another 5 breaths. So maybe you're using your tension fingers or palms on blocks or another surface as you reach to pull the shoulder blades together. Big stretch in this back hip. Belly pulled up and in. I knew that because mine was not pulled up and in. We're going to unwind, bring that left leg forward. Give yourself a hug. Right. No tricky Navasana here, just a stretch. And then we'll take that pigeon on the other side. So keep the left leg to the top of the mat and reach the right leg behind you. Set yourself up before you fold over. Each side different, right? So it might not be exactly the same. if it's too much and you still want that same-ish stretch, you could be here with the back leg bent so that you don't have to kind of hold yourself up with your arms. You can also, when we're doing pigeon on the left leg, lie down and cross and come here to get that same kind of stretch. Stay forward folded or begin to come upright, finding that upright pigeon stretch for about 5 breaths. And then when you're ready, bring your back leg forward. Give yourself a nice hug. The legs out straight for a straight forward fold. So move anything out of the way so you can sit on your sit bones really well. Tall spine. Find that belly engagement as you reach forward and fold over your straight legs. We'll be here about 10 breaths and use those breaths to release into your posture. That doesn't always mean that you're going further in. It might mean that you're relaxing something instead of holding tension. Maybe using each exhale to find a body part you can release into this stretch. As you're ready, begin to come upright. And we're going to round it all the way down to the ground. So hollow out your belly, reach energy through those fingers. As you round it down, eventually we're going to get to that point of no return. We have to lie down. We're going to fight gravity on the way there, so we're nice and slow. Yeah, good job. And once you get there, let's take a nice long body stretch. Hug the right knee in towards your chest. Still ground through that left leg, so maybe you're flexing the left toes, pushing the left knee down towards the ground, hugging the right knee in towards your chest, maybe a little towards your armpit. Release the leg, take another long body stretch, and then hug the left knee in towards your chest, maybe towards your armpit. Right leg is active. Release, long body stretch. Hug both knees in towards your chest, whether you decide to keep the knees together or let them come out a little bit towards the armpit, or maybe you're going to try both of those as we take a few breaths here. Coming into a spinal rotation from here, allowing your knees to come a little bit away from your chest, or your feet can come all the way to the ground even, and then bring your knees over to the right, working to have both shoulder blades come to the ground, maybe opening the arms, but maybe you don't want them on the asphalt and your hands are resting on your torso somewhere. Stay there longer if it suits you, or begin to slowly make your way to the other side when you're ready. Stay on this side as long as you like before making your way into your final resting posture of Shavasana. Typically that's with the legs out, kind of flopped out to the side, arms down, palms up, shoulder blades a little bit together, but you could also have the knees bent if that's more comfortable to your low back. You basically want to find a posture where you can just allow yourself to rest completely.
For those of you at home, come out of your Shavasana whenever it suits you. Stay as long as you can.